Hello, I'm Rebecca of Pocketful of Posies. Today's project is the continuation of my Regency Corset, Regency Stays mock-up, and also this bodiced petticoat. I'm really excited to share the process of making this petticoat with you, as well as the finishing pretty much of this mock-up of my Regency Stays. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go! I began my petticoat by using Laughing Moon Mercantile pattern 132. I traced my size out, and I should have used my corseted measurements because it is a little big. I then cut out my pattern pieces of cotton voile. Next, I marked the darts and notches. Then I pinned the dart. Between the time I cut out my pieces and starting construction, we started redoing the sewing room. So everything I had cut out and stored needed a good ironing. I began assembling the petticoat by sewing the darts. I also tied the points. Next, I pinned the shoulder strap pieces to the bodice. Then I pinned the bodice backs to the bodice front. I sewed the side seams. Then I sewed the shoulder seams. I turned the center back openings 1/2 inch to the inside and then another 1/2 inch. Then I whip stitched them down. I trimmed one side of my inside seam allowance, then folded the uncut sides over the cut sides to encase the raw edges. Next, I trimmed the neck and arm sides 1/4 inch. Then I pinned bias tape around the neckline and arm sides, right sides together. I sewed the bias tape down on the machine. Next, I trimmed the seam allowance and started turning the bias tape to the inside, only to realize I sewed the tape on the wrong side of one of the arm sides. Seam ripping time! Fixed it, and then turned the bias tape to the inside. I sewed narrow twill tape to the top and bottom of both center back edges to act as ties. I was worried it would be too small for buttons, but it isn't. I sewed the bias tape down by hand with a whip stitch. The inside is looking nice and neat, ready to flat fill the inside seams. My stitches aren't perfect, but they are so much better than they used to be. Here's one of my flat filled seams. Time for alterations on my stays mock-up. I took off the binding on the front. Then I measured and cut new gussets and gusset slits. I was going for quick and usable, so I zigzagged the raw edges of the new gusset pieces. I also zigzagged the gusset slits and pinned the gussets in. I cut the straps off and moved them closer to the center back. Okay, I have made some adjustments. I made the bust gussets bigger, so now I actually have room for my chest and I'm not being smashed in. I think I am going to do some drawstrings because I think they're a tiny bit big. I mean, I could probably just pinch out one of the gussets a little bit, and that would make them fit better. But right now, this is definitely an improvement to the way they were before. I moved the straps in the back. Everything is a bit of a mess. But now these straps are attached way over here, but that is workable. That is doable. They're not like completely falling off. Can even make them a little bit tighter to make them fit a little bit better. But all in all, I think the gussets, the new gussets, just need to be a tiny bit smaller. And then these would be pretty great fit. So I may just, on these, since they're a mock-up, I may just take a little tuck. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I could just... Tuck's not the right word. Dart. Take a little dart. But my chest is definitely sitting better. It feels better supported, but it does still want to kind of sink down. So I'm thinking if I pull these on a little bit, that's going to help with that. Or maybe just do drawstring on each cup. That might work as well. The busk is not sitting like right against my chest, but I think that is probably because my stomach is bigger than my chest. So it's kind of at an angle. But definitely an improvement. They look better. They're more flattering now. And even though they're a mess, I would probably just going to rebind along here. Probably leave the back alone. I might rebind that one little spot where the spot where I cut the strap off, and then they'll look decent, and they won't look terrible, and I can wear them, and then I can get a good feel for them so I can decide how I want to proceed making the real pair. Yay! I re-sewed the binding on the front and cleaned up the threads on the inside of the stays. And then I started pinning the bias tape to the inside. I sewed it down by hand. Back to the petticoat. I pinned the skirt back pieces together and pinned the front skirt to the backs. Were you thinking I was going to have a video without pet interruptions? Oh no. Lucius and Hercules supervised while I started sewing the skirt panels together. and ran out of bobbin thread. Back on track with a new bobbin. I marked the center front of the bodice and the center of the skirt front and pinned them together. Then I pinned the rest of the front skirt to the front bodice. I gathered the back skirt pieces by hand to fit the back bodice. Next, I pinned them in place. I went to the machine and sewed the skirt to the bodice. I trimmed the seam allowance and zigzagged the raw edges. My next step was pinning the hem. I took the easy and fast route and hemmed it on the machine. Here is the back of the petticoat. I love the gathers. They're so cute. And Lucius, he's also cute. Okay, the saga of the stays continues. So, I made some changes, lengthened the bust gussets, and all I've done now is I've rebound them. And something I didn't notice when I put it on over my t-shirt was that it is still a little big in here. I did take in both of these gussets. I did a dart in them. So I'm thinking I might just do the same on these. It may look a little weird, but am I concerned about that? Probably not. Because after all, this is an undergarment. But otherwise, this has definitely improved the fit. The shoulder straps being moved is very good, and everything's good. This is just a little big up top here. I guess a drawstring would help that as well. So maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just do a drawstring, and then we will be done with the stays. Yay! You boys getting in the way of my photo shoot. Loki. He's a good boy. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed this saga of the stays as well as this bodiced petticoat. I really enjoyed making it and I am kind of in love with it. I plan on adding buttons in the back to make it fit a little bit better. I was worried that it was going to be too small, so I did the ties instead of the buttons, but having it on with the stays now, I realize I can add buttons, and so I plan on doing that. But that really is the only thing that I'm going to change about this bodiced petticoat. It's so light. The back I love with all of the gathers. It's so pretty. And I hope you enjoyed watching the process of making it. Be sure to stay tuned next week when I will share with you my new Regency dress. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. If you'd like to be notified whenever I upload, you can hit that little bell icon. And also, if you'd like to support the channel further, I have a Ko-fi account, and that is linked down below. Thanks again, and I will see you on our next sewing adventure. Bye!